Hello and welcome to another battle report from the store champs at Playoteket in Malmö. I'm Michael Dennis from the 186 Squadron, and I'm here again with my cohort, Alex Burt.
Hello.
So we're watching Martin Fernandez with his Soontir TIE Swarm playing off against Simon Carlson.
Nice.
What are your...
Sorry, I was just going to say it's nice to see two swarms facing off, because I haven't seen that for a long time.
I agree. I absolutely agree. Although I think that Simon's going to have a bit of an uphill struggle here just because it seems Martin's outbid him on pilot skill. What do you think?
Yes. Moving last and shooting first is going to be quite a big deal in this game. And also, if he can't get Soontir off the board quick enough, then potentially if he takes all the TIE fighters out, then Soontir could just clean it up all at the end. So yeah, I think my money would be on the Imperials just from list, but let's see how it plays out.
Oh, slight Steving of an asteroid there.
It's nice to see the Blue Squadron Novices on the table though. Especially with the targeting Astromech. I haven't actually seen anybody running those lately.
I saw a list in a tournament not that long ago, which was two of those, the targeting Astromech and the integrated Astromech, and two Blue Squadron B-Wings with fire control systems. I really like that as a list.
Yeah, I suppose the Bandits almost do a kind of similar thing, like equivalent number of hit points, slightly more agility. Yes, they've got 2 dice attacks, but there's 4 of them instead of 2 3 dice. So yeah, I could sort of see a comparison there.
So it looks like they've both split up. Neither of them are flying all of their ships together as a full-on sort of swarm. Soontir's on the far right, waiting to flank.
I have to say, I am surprised to see someone running Obsidians rather than cracked Squadron Blacks, and certainly without Howlrunner.
Yeah, I agree. This list is... God, this list must be... I mean, aside from the Autothrusters, it's like wave 3, right?
Yeah.
And,
or is it... Or were Interceptors wave 2, even?
But the... well, the push limit was in the A-Wing pack, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, A-Wings and Interceptors were the same wave for me. I know I started playing in wave 3 when it was out, and the first wave I saw release was 4, so it could be wrong.
Yeah, I started playing right before wave 4 myself. I'm interested that Simon's not flying all of his ships as a big sort of tanky block.
Yeah, I would have thought that would be the obvious choice, because those X-Wings seem a little bit like they're just going to get murdered by themselves. Especially with that rock placement next to the Bandits, because he can't very easily just kind of bank around that one the way they're positioned now. But it seems like he's trying to bait the TIEs into going for the X-Wings so that he can flank with the Zeds, which could be pretty good, but is he going to be able to bring them all to bear at once?
And if Martin can trade all his TIE fighters for a large chunk of Simon's lists, it's going to leave him in a bad endgame where he's got, 2 or 3 ships left against Soontir Fowl.
Yeah. But then if one or two of those ships even is an X-Wing, then potentially he could get a good block off, range 1 shot, and then bye-bye Soontir.
That's true. Plus he can leverage the... I love when those blue squadrons with that setup do a Talon roll and get a target lock. It's great.
Yeah, especially when they end up really close to you just behind. Yeah, it's always very impressive when someone pulls that off.
Looks like the TIE fighters have decided they don't care about... they're not satisfied with 2 dice. They definitely want 3 dice.
Yeah, and who can blame them? But it's a very ballsy 5 forward, considering how easily that could have been blocked.
Yeah, agreed. Then again, Simon did 3 forward, didn't he? That's not the fastest maneuver for the X-Wing, though.
Oh, sure. I thought he'd done that previously, and
But
They've just gone on 1 this time.
I just meant Simon did go quite fast, but clearly not fast enough to block the 5.
Yeah, it's really going for those X-Wings.
Well, to be fair, it's probably the smart choice. They've got the big guns. I mean, Soontir is going to laugh at those bandits in the endgame.
Yeah, absolutely.
Especially with the stealth device.
Assuming the green dice don't just desert him.
Oh, yeah, of course, don't.
See, if that was me flying Soontir, it would be like first shot from a bandit, range 3, all blanks.
But you could Autothrusters one of them.
Yep, but I probably wouldn't have done the evade token because I'd have seen they're out of range.
I'm not going to push the limit. Okay, range 3 from the bandit then. Wait, what?
We've all been there.
Yep.
Yeah, so these X-Wings could both die before they shoot. I mean, it's unlikely that both of them will, but you never know.
He's going to squeeze a boost in there. Looks like he doesn't think he'll fit. All the tokens. I mean, that's the thing about Soontir as well. He's so impervious at range 3 that you forget how vulnerable he is at range 1 and 2.
Yeah.
And then you take risks, and that's how he dies. I see 2 blanks, which is a typical Soontir attack roll without modification.
Yep. So many times you set up that perfect range 1 shot where you're completely out of arc, and then you just blank out and you have to start again. It's very frustrating.
That's why he gels so perfectly with either the targeting computer mod or Emperor Palpatine.
Yeah, absolutely. But even then you need to be careful with the Palp on the offense, because if you get greedy then he dies.
I'm always very aggressive with Palp. I think a lot of players play it quite defensively, but...
Yeah, I've played against quite a lot of people that tend to save it for the defense and then they don't need it. So it's kind of like a wasted hit almost.
Because I think the best defense is a good offense. So I'm like, add another crit.
Yeah.
Vader rolls like a hit crit, adds a crit, and then I'm like, we'll turn that hit into a crit. 3 crits. Very good. So here come the ties at long range.
Still have turning damage. Yeah, that's why you want Howler and crack shot.
I think the X-Wing that was shot at range 1 has taken 2 or 3 shields.
It's hard to tell without the pilot cards on display.
I agree. I saw someone removing shields earlier. Simon tantalizing taking shields off and putting them somewhere else we can't see them. I think he must have lost his 3 shields at this point. He finally decides to use his focus. Could that have been the last shield? Maybe.
Or the first. Or one hit only.
That's why we run Howrunner.
Yeah. I want to try it done now.
Wow, don't tell me that the X-Wings both survived. That's tough. I thought for sure at least one would die.
Yeah, that's 13 dice going at them. You'd think that would be enough to do 6 damage, but I guess not.
I guess Simon was had good reason to feel confident jousting all of the Imperials with his X-Wings.
Well, if it's anything like the movies, it sounds like it's going about right.
Oh no, TIE Fighter down. That's how it happens.
It's a very different game to how I was expecting it to go after that first turn, to be honest. And the X-Wings haven't even shot.
Yeah, agreed.
Very range 2.
All those blank green dice. Oh, I can feel it as an Imperial player. Those poor TIE Fighters.
Martin has been rolling abysmally so far.
And there's something about it as well when you start to lose sort of like 2 or 3 TIE Fighters and you can just feel the teeth of the swarm just going away, you know? And it becomes this sort of like just a few useless plinky ships that can't do anything,
Yeah.
you know?
Soontir's going to have to do some real heavy lifting in the end game, I think. What was that? Did he get...
That was an X-Wing firing at a TIE Fighter at range 1.
Yeah, but... Well,
it looked like he...
crit's gone through by the look of it.
Yeah, 1 crit. I think he was firing at the TIE without the focus token.
Yeah. That's
which makes sense.
The right call in my opinion.
Absolutely. Oh, poor TIE Fighters. Do you think he should have committed the ties to the Zeds instead? Because he's got a better chance of taking Zeds off the board before they shoot.
Possibly. I think I probably would have gone for the X-Wings first, particularly as they're on their own, and chances are the Bandits would have been at range 3 anyway, so they're not likely to do as much damage as they did. But obviously the end result is kind of speaks for itself. I'm wondering if we're going to see a Talon roll from that other X-Wing.
I didn't see who the X-Wing target locks.
No, it doesn't look like he put the token down. Oh, he's doing it now. Or is he?
So he's put down the blue one. Oh, it's Soontir, isn't it? Look, there's a lock on Soontir
Yeah,
just at the very bottom of the screen. I mean, those T-70s with the targeting Astromech are pretty heavy duty.
Yeah.
With the integrated Astromech as well.
I think I prefer them to B-Wings at this point, to be honest.
Because they're so much more maneuverable.
Yeah. That boost for, even the first couple of rounds, just lining up where you're going to be pointing for the turn or the turn after, makes such a difference to where your ships end up.
And with their, with their K-turns and their Talon rolls as well.
Yeah, they're very hard to pin down, and you have to shoot them usually like 4 or 5 times before they go down. It's very frustrating.
If they want to joust you, they just wind up jousting you.
Yeah.
It's hard to sort of... Unless you're like highly maneuverable like Soontir fell.
Yeah, but when you're talking about like the sort of raw efficiency, I don't think point for point there are many ships that really beat them, except maybe the TIE Fighters, to be honest. K-10s everywhere. Let's take them back.
No shots for you there, TIE Fighter. Uh-oh, panic, take an evade.
Wondering if he's gambling on him shooting one of the other TIE fighters and then blocking the X-Wing the next turn, maybe? Otherwise, not really sure what he was going for there.
He probably just wasn't sure where the X-Wings were going to be. Barrel roll into range 3. Save me, range die. You're my only hope.
That's like potentially 2 evade actions. But then looking at that, I'm not convinced that is range 3.
Maybe not from the X-Wings. Yeah, it's hard to tell from this sort of distance and this angle. I'm just thinking he could also have barreled out of range 1, possibly.
Yeah, well, that's equally sensible.
No, that poor TIE Fighter has just panicked and evaded.
That's why he power rolled, is it?
Would he have blocked Soontir in his old position?
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, he would have. Because there's a gap between him and Soontir.
Yeah.
Oh dear.
Just turtle up here and sacrifice your shot, or do you barrel roll and then have 2 tokens? Can you potentially? I was going to say, can you dodge the arc of the top X-wing if you barrel roll? Do you reckon?
Yeah, quite possibly. Well, he's trying to dodge everything.
I'm not convinced he dodged either of them.
The X-Wings, no.
The bandits. Yeah, I suppose he's dodged the bandits.
Yeah. He's dodged all the bandits. But I actually thought his first position was probably better. I'm not too worried about bandits at range 3, to be honest.
No, especially the stealth device. But then if he shoots with the X-Wing at range 1, plinks a shot 3, then the bandits become a little bit more dangerous. I suppose that's still 4 dice even without the stealth.
Soontir forgot his target locks.
I always do that when I'm moving shots around. It's really annoying. One day they'll come out with an X-Wing board that has like little 3D target locks that follow your ship around wherever you move it.
Like an electronic X-Wing board.
Yeah.
I would kickstart that.
Yeah. I mean, I might not, but I'd definitely play on it if my shop had one.
I think the only, other than Soontir's pot shot at the bandit there, the only other shots are the TIE K-turned, right? So it's going to be one TIE just desperately trying to kill that X-Wing.
Yeah.
Did he already shoot?
Yeah, he must have missed.
Oh no, I guess he failed to kill the X-Wing.
But then Soontir gets behind the Zeds next turn. They can't necessarily K-turn because of where that TIE fighter is, because they've only got the 3s. So Soontir could clean this up, I reckon.
It's still possible.
sorry. The way you've just explained it is you turned all of your your eyes to hits before the reroll.
Yeah, I wasn't really expecting 3 twice to go down before he even took down 1 rebel ship.
If you had waited and
that's
roll,
that's surprising.
You know, typically, that's the typical way most people do it, is they do the reroll first, and then there's nothing stopping you. You just cannot do it on the ones that you've changed. You cannot reroll modified dice. No. Well, you could reroll them, but
modify reroll the dice when you already have more than 9 ones. Yes, exactly. Yeah. You should have waited with the modification.
Yeah, no problem.
Well, at least those green dice are being a bit kinder to him.
That's got to balance that off in terms of first round shooting. But that's still a crit.
Crit snuck through.
Once this TIE fighters start taking crits, they go down very quickly.
Yeah. I guess he's not firing at Soontir with the X-Wing.
Well, I guess at that range you wouldn't. So you take the target lock so that you set yourself up better for like a few turns down the line, and then hopefully you get a block in, and then get him at range 1 from the back.
Well, I don't know how he's going to block Soontir from there, though.
Well, it won't next turn, but you know, a couple of turns time, he's probably not going to have to worry about the TIE fighters for much longer. It's going to take Soontir at least another turn to come back in and get some shots.
What is this long-term planning you're talking about, Alex?
Yeah, you've got.
I don't do that. I pew immediately.
You got to plan for the long term when Soontir fell, because otherwise he just runs rings around you and laughs. I'm sure you are all too familiar with.
I love running rings around people and laughing with Soontir.
I have noticed.
Well, that doesn't happen in our games. Soontir just gets blocked and explodes. Probably because you're doing this whole looking ahead thing.
That's what you get when you plan. Is that a bump?
Looks like it.
Yeah, he's got enough ships, doesn't matter, does it?
I'm surprised that he didn't attempt any K-turns this round.
Yeah, I was wondering about that, but then what's that really going to achieve? She's got like 2 Zeds that would be able to realistically K-turn, maybe 3. I suppose it puts the pressure on Soontir and it takes him longer to disengage, but he really wants to take out those last 2 TIE fighters before they're going to give him any more problems, I guess.
Oh, K-turn from that one would have been nice.
Yeah.
That might be the damaged X-Wing though, so it's possible he could PS kill it.
Yep, entirely possible. No, it doesn't look like too many of the ships are shooting at that one either.
Yep, those ties are gunning for that wounded X-Wing. Get him off the board.
Project 2 forward. In a boost round. Yeah, there we go. Oh, wait a sec.
Rocking the way. Barrel roll first.
Where is he going to go from there? Ah, obviously restart.
Now comes the car reboot.
Right, can we kill an X-Wing?
Looks like a pretty solid natural roll there.
Still on the board though.
The wounded X-Wing finally succumbs.
How many TIE fighters are going to be left with at the end of this round though?
I don't think there's very many shots on the one at the back, and he still has his focus token. I think this one might be gone.
Yeah, seems reasonable.
Yeah, 'cause he's got at least 2 more shots coming on to him from the Zeds. Soontir's missing his stress token.
Maybe it's under the focus.
I think it's still sitting in front of the Zed swarm. So that's what happens with Soontir. You just presume he's stressed at all times.
Yes, unless we're trying to act.
Nope, there it is. There was also a stress token hiding under the focus.
I was right. So, no damage to the TIE fighters. We're seeing some K-turns.
Well, 2 damage, but they're both still alive.
Yeah.
Mangler.
Blocking those K-turns.
I wonder if he's trying to K-turn, maybe just turning in. Trying to get those bandits.
Yeah, if he's done hard 1 turns with both of them, it could be pretty good.
Alla är oskadda rent fysiskt, men sköldarna är nere på 2 på Kejlan, 3 på hotell.
I mean, that's probably the right choice.
2.
Just a bump there then.
But does he bump on the one in front or the one at the back? No. That's pretty bad.
Yeah, it's not ideal.
Oh dear. Hard 2 from Soontir, I assume. Yeah. Desperate to get back into this fight, do some damage.
Yeah. But he's got to be careful here, because otherwise he could be prone to a big block and then getting blasted by that X-Wing. He's got the target lock on him. I mean, it's all too tempting to just kind of like boost in, maybe even barrel roll. But where's that going to leave you with to escape?
Oh yeah, exactly.
Well, there's the boost.
I mean, it doesn't have to be all about sort of escaping, but I see what you mean. You don't want to get tangled up in that sort of web of ships.
Oh no, exactly. There have been too many times where I've been caught with Soontir, and like either I can go over a rock or go somewhere predictable that's going to get me blocked, and neither is really a good option.
I remember I was trying to flank Soontir with Echo one time, and I was like, well, the only place he can go here, which would sort of save him and prevent me from, well, actually would give him a great shot on me, is if he goes over that rock, which he'll never do, because then he won't get any actions. Of course, the guy flies right over the rock, and I'm like, no, you don't think like me! And he had a range one shot, an uncloaked Echo. He's like, well, look, either I was going to die, or, you know, I kill you first, and then I don't die. And, of course, Soontir one-shots Echo.
Of course.
And, so, like, you know, takes no damage from the asteroid. I've got no shots back at him. I'm like, this is the worst.
It's the reward you get for playing Echo versus Soontir. Should never ends well.
Well, I managed to... There was a game where I managed to hunt down Echo with Soontir. If you can leverage your Bandit cloak, it is possible to sort of stay behind him in really awkward positions.
That's true.
But the challenge is making sure that you've sort of got backup shots, because if Soontir gets out of arc and you can't recloak, you're going to lose that maneuverability.
Yeah, I do like Echo as a good blocker though. Like you can get in some really tight spaces.
Absolutely.
Oh, it's time for killing some TIE fighters, maybe. One hit. No damage.
The TIE fighters have woken up.
Yeah.
I saw how easily those other three just exploded. Decided to take some. Decided to take some evasive maneuvers.
Well, they've got to bring it back by themselves now, really.
That looks like a crit sneaking in. No?
No, doesn't look like it.
Oh, TIE fighters get away again. Amazing.
Första gången för min del. Han gömde sig, säger vi då.
I'm very surprised.
I think they at least take one sharpshooter. They can be slippery. Clumsiness. Where do you think Soontir?
That happens. Well, I mean, a 2-bank towards the X-Wing block wouldn't be terrible, because then you can kind of barrel sideways and get sort of out of the arcs on the side and still have a shot. But it'd be a big risk to take, especially when you don't know what your opponent's doing.
Exactly.
Again, a 2 forward would be pretty awful.
Yeah.
And I don't know, like, you don't want to just keep running away.
No, because you can fall into that trap where you can just never turn back around again to get the shot. You just need to keep focusing on aiming all the time.
Yeah.
And although he can survive that for quite a long time, I mean, can't really do much else. So it's never really an ideal position to be in.
And that's the thing, eventually your green dice will fail if he forces you to roll them often enough. So if all you're doing is just running away the whole time, you know, eventually it'll be sort of death by 1,000 cuts.
Yeah, I'm wondering if he's just done a 2-turn to try and get in.
A 2-turn towards the X-Wing.
Yeah. by using that barrel roll TIE fighter as a nice juicy target. Like, come on, shoot me at range 1 without any tokens gone. Whereas Soontir would be potentially in front of him.
Thing is, though, he's putting Soontir will be within range 2 of those 3 ships, which is a big gamble to pay. Oh, does he do the 2 forward?
Oh, we bumped.
Did do the 2 forward.
Oh, no.
Has he? It looks like he's contemplating actions.
Okay. See, from where I'm sitting, it looks like they're touching.
Yeah, it definitely looks like they're touching from where we're sitting. But he's actioning, so they're not.
Of course.
See, not super ideal.
So now he's getting shot by all of the ships. And not just potentially 3 of them.
Maybe they'll shoot at the ties. He's super lucky that bump didn't hit, though.
Yeah.
Or that Soontir didn't bump there. Oh, spends the focus on defense.
Probably the smart decision.
Yeah, probably. I would have been tempted to keep it, just to shoot at Soontir with it.
I find if I keep it on defense, I always roll either all hits or all blanks.
That's true. There's a couple of 3 hits there. Soontir has the first set. Oh no!
That looks like a lot of blanks.
You got to spend the focus, because otherwise you're dead.
So just 2 hits. Ouch.
Yeah, there's 3 hits.
No more
3
sacrifice.
blanks. Yeah. Oh no. Save me, Autothrusters, you're my only hope. No, he can't.
No.
That wasn't even a focus result? Oh dear. Or that was a focus result. I thought that was an evade result.
Get those TIE fighters, bring it back.
Uh-oh. It's TIE Fighter versus the world. Range 1 from the X-Wing.
Oh dear.
I see a lot of symbols. I just called it there.
Oh wow. So what were you saying about pilot skill, Mike?
I said I fancied Martin's chances. But it's the thing about being Imperial, you know, you have to bet on your green dice, and sometimes they just don't come through for you.
Yeah. Those annoying rebels.
And again, well played by Simon. He managed to sort of corner Soontir and blat him.
Yeah. Yeah, very well done. Even more impressive that he managed to do it without a block.
Yeah. True. I guess it just goes to show so that pilot skill isn't everything. Apparently shields are everything.
Yeah. And there's pesky rebels with their 2 green dice. If they roll the evades, then those things are difficult to kill.
Well, thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.
Thank you. Good night.